Peter Wright took out 1-3-6 to go 9-5 up. But what a way to wrap up the victory. 1-6-1 on the ball. Celebrations for the most colourful man in darts. 108.133 dart average, 4 180s, 50% on the doubles. He is going to take a lot of stopping. Could his name be on the Matchplay trophy come next Sunday night? The knockout blow. Ibrex heading home 10-5. Whitlock a 99 average against Jelle Klassen. Van Gerwen against Benito van der Pas. And Adrian Lewis against Gerwen. And to wrap up day one of the Matchplay. Wayne Mardle's in the studio. Wayne, have a look at those stats. That is very, very impressive. It really is. And to be honest, the scoring from him, and that kind of tells a story to a point, but even though it's only 21 ton pluses, that there was a lot of there was a couple of 1-3-5s, a 1-2-3, but the wayward darts, there was hardly any, maybe 5 or 6 throughout the whole match, and that's not a lot for a length of match that it was. He kept Kim under pressure from start to finish, and he never relented. In fact, towards the end, Peter got better. When he saw the finishing line, he made a dash for it. Whereas some players can think, oh, I'm getting a bit edgy here, like we see Simon Whitlock. He had trouble wrapping up that win against Jelle Klassen. He let Jelle off the hook for one leg, and then he couldn't quite close it out. Peter Wright, he went and earned the win. And we're not going to get carried away and saying he's going to win it, but that was a performance champion-like. If he carries that on, it's unlikely he will be beaten, but we've never seen him carry it on to that standard before. The 40-1 price, he was round about that at the start of the tournament, is going to come in a lot now. People who've got that will be thinking, well, they'll be feeling rather smug, won't they? Well, they will be, and so they should be. Peter is more or less proven, even though he's never won a major, he's proven that he has the game because he's come so close. He's been beaten in a world final, and he's got better this year, whereas a lot of people thought he was going to taper off, because he was always been mediocre, and he won't mind me saying that. He was always a decent county player, and that was it. Well, now, the last 3 years, he has been special, and he's got better and better. When will it stop, that improvement? I don't know, but one thing's for sure, he's good enough right now. The man has been good enough for quite a while. Michael van Gerwen, up next against Benito van der Pas, fellow Dutchman. Well, it was 3 years to this week when Michael kind of hit the ground, and that was it. The rest was history when he hit the 9-darter against Steve Beaton. He's a better player than Benito van der Pas. Benito is inconsistent. He's a bit Jelle Klassen-like. When the first dart goes in, he's fine. When he doesn't, he seems to switch around the board, and then the shoulder comes into play. Michael will have him running for cover, I think. And if he keeps him under pressure, I think Michael will win it comfortably. I really do, because he's the best player on the planet. He's world #1. He's the favourite for this. But Eric was right when he said there's going to be upsets. I just don't see this being one. World #1 has been talking to Laura Woods.
Michael van Gerwen, world #1. I bet that doesn't get boring, does it?
No, it doesn't. Especially not when you're playing that well. Even after a couple of years, I'm already #1 for 1.5 years now, and I don't get bored of that. The
PDC circuit for you has been somewhat of a trophy fest over the last few years, but there are 2 which you haven't got, and one of them is the World Matchplay of Darts.
Correct, World Matchplay and the Grand Slam of Darts. So, yeah, unfortunately, but I'm getting closer and closer every year. Last year was the final against Phil. So this year I hope I can win this one. I've been practicing really hard, so I think there's a good moment to show everyone what I can.
What are your memories from the final last year against Phil?
The worst memory I can imagine. I played so bad. I let myself down last year, and you could see it after the game. I was emotional, but there's also a thing what happens in sports, and it doesn't go always your way. It's horrible, but it's one of them things.
When you're in form and when you're firing on all cylinders, we love watching you.
I better do it tonight then.
Yeah, you do. I built you up a little bit there, haven't I?
Yeah.
What about this stage, playing on this stage? It's one of the favourites among the darts players. How do you feel about it?
Can't call it my favourite yet because I didn't win it yet. So.
Your opponent tonight in the first round, Benito van der Pas.
Yeah.
Now, you know him well, don't you?
Yeah, I know really well. He's growing up, he's doing really well, and yeah, he's comparing with the big boys, but to play on this stage is a bit different, and you will see that tonight. You need to prepare yourself really well, and you can't non-focus you on a tournament like this, because this is too big. I need to play well, and I need to make sure I'm going to win this game.
But he did play at the World Championships well. He took out two big players, Chisnell and Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, that's correct. But
He'll be
that
riding high.
was the past as well. That doesn't count. That was the World Championship. This the World Match Play. Different stages, different venue, different players. So you can't compare it with each other.
You're on a mission, aren't you? I can see.
Of course, I'm on a mission, and it's winning this tournament. But first, I don't need to think too lightly about any player because they all can play really well in this tournament, and I need to prepare myself so proper as possible.
Well, Michael, we certainly can't wait to watch you out there. Huge good luck, and we'll see what happens between you and your mate.
Yeah, we're going to see. One match, one mission, simple. One match at a time.
He is still the maestro and the match play. Yeah. Did you like it? He loved it. Difficult against a man like this. Emphatic for Michael van Gerwen. That is a very big body blow. You should have played mind games with the master. Brilliant bat. Look at that pace. Pressure. Did it earlier, did it again, game on!
Welcome back live to the Winter Netherlands, Blackpool! The Bet Victor World Match Play coming to you live here on Sky Sports and all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. Time now to meet our players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Ben Benito Van And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands, he's the reigning world #1 and the former champion of the world, mighty Michael
Michael van Gerwen hasn't won this, and he hasn't won the Grand Slam. Is that a coincidence?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm sure it is. I'm just not sure why it's been like that. They are two tournaments that are over a long-legged format. And for me, Michael, he's always gone through kind of peaks and troughs in matches, but the reason he wins so much now is that when he's off, he's still averaging 900. But last year, I remember in the final that when he was going through a bit of a lull in form, Phil absolutely annihilated him for about 6 or 7 legs. If that was set play, it might only be 1 or 2 sets. But over the leg format, you can really pull away from an opponent. And I think it might be preying on his mind that he's got to get his level at a level where it's consistent all the way through. He knows he's got the game. He's been beaten in the final here, and he won't want that to happen again.
There were tears after the final this year.
Yeah, there were, and they may be tears of happiness this year. Who's to say he's the favourite to do so?
Is there a chance he could underestimate his opponent, Benito van der Pas?
No, he knows Benito very, very well. He know that he has to play to a very high standard.
Commentators John Parr and David Croft. Crofty.
Good evening. Thank you, Dave. What an atmosphere! Except Ross Abbott isn't here tonight. The headline attraction is the #1 seed. This man, Michael van Gerwen, the hottest property in world darts at the moment, chasing that tournament that has eluded him. And John Parr, you could argue, why is Benito van der Pas turning up tonight? 3 years ago, Van Gerwen got to the quarter-finals. 2 years ago, it was the semi. Last year, it was the final. Surely, this year, the statistics say it's Van Gerwen's time.
Yeah, it's a very hard tournament to win, and especially when he's starting off against a guy that beat him on the Euro Tour in the last time they met. So that's the knowledge he has to face, that he can lose to him. I really don't think it's going to happen. I think Michael's going to be very comfortable. This is a great venue. He loves the crowd support, and
96.
Michael is just here to win. You get that feeling.
You just sense, though, that there is the possibility of an upset, but when he's faced with a 1-4-4 checkout, Van der Pas has got to make a better impression than he did just then. Van Gerwen with the darts, single 20 leaves double 16, or it's 12 for tops, and there is the opening.
Yeah, and 100 is quite easy. Need a treble or 2 double tops, and that's what it's come to. Went for it, pulled it.
It is.
Really not making much of his opportunities, and those are good opportunities against the world #1.
So double top then, missed with his first attempt, gets it with the second attempt, and that's the first leg on the board for the #1 seed. And when these two last met, the International Open, Benito van der Pas's first PDC ranking final, he was taking out 158, 122 finishes. You know, an unbeaten run of 21 matches that Van Gerwen was on came to an end as Van der Pas went on a decent run. But it's a different world to playing up on this stage tonight, John.
84.
Well, I think he can handle this stage, but you know, whether he actually comes out in the form he needs to be, it's a lot iffier
100
with Benito. You just don't know what you're going to get, and it's not looking so far, like he said, all comfortable. Of course, it is the toughest challenge to have the world
58.
#1 to play, but we know there's a capability, but a lot you could tell a lot from Benito by how he starts, and I don't expect it to change much. Hopefully he does.
He needs something big here, and a handy switch, and a handy second treble 19 as well. But Van Gerwen, against the dart, still has the opportunity. Bullseye for a 128. Oh, he scraped the wire.
Yeah, he really looked good and aggressive. The rescue attempt by Van der Pas not materializing, although he did hit 2 trebles. You have to think Van Gerwen, with this 25 and 9 for #8, it's going to go in.
Games on the second leg. Michael van Gerwen.
It looked almost as easy as you were describing it.
But he looks that comfortable. He looks completely in belief that, you know, he'll win this match, and he's really trying to get that belief he'll win the tournament.
140.
It's a horrible position to be in, to be broken so early in what is your first match in the World Matchplay Championship, and that's what Benito van der Pas is facing. But don't forget, he's a man, when we saw him at the Worlds, beat Dave Chisnall in the last 32. Great performance 59 against Chisnall there. Lost 4-0 to Robert Thornton in the next round. But we know he's got the talent.
Well, in general, I think he needs a good start in any match, but particularly up against Van Gerwen.
92.
So this is his chance, you think, to break straight back here.
Well, he did have a chance to break in the first leg. He needed the 100, and not too unreasonable. A much better composure out there, the maximum to get to 53. Now, nothing Michael can do to stop him breaking him.
98.
It's a high-quality start to this match to really settle those nerves. Double top. Oh, he's on the ball.
Benito around the back. Or like Benito to throw first.
And that is just what the doctor ordered. And that, John, is how to throw away a really good platform that you're building.
Well, it's just the tension is evident. He's going as his first dart goes, really.
But it's the strange idiosyncrasy of darts, isn't it? You've just broken someone. You should be feeling great about the world. And you go up there and you tense up and you throw a duff score, but he's bounced back well.
Well, yeah, first dart in and followed it twice, so it's really important how his first dart goes in a turn. Well, good cover there.
95.
His covering has been superb so far, Benito van der Pas. The trouble is he's having to switch a bit more often than he would have wanted.
And Michael puts himself in position to get the break back.
And he's blocked the bed there with his first two darts. Once again, the cover sorts him out. It is half an opening if Van Gerwen misses this. He's going to go treble 20 for tops, and he has left his fellow Dutch compatriot with a chance again. The important thing is he's got to get himself to a double. 16 will leave the bull. Double 9 it is. Oh!
76.
And once again goes close, but not close enough.
A good effort. It's double top. Well, look at that miss.
50.
What's that tell you? I guess he's suddenly thinking, wait a minute, this is not going to be as easy as I first thought. One for double 4. To hold.
Fine score.
Really needed that. He knows it.
Yeah, it's only the fourth leg of a match that could go a long way, but tension on both sides, and the experience comes through for Van Gerwen to go back 2 legs in front.
Here I see Michael's still scolding himself over the 60 effort.
Well, so he should. You're the #1 seed, you should be expecting big things. Van Gerwen lookalikes wherever you see from our vantage point in what is a packed house here in the Winter Gardens tonight. I had to do a double take. I was on the train the other day and I thought I saw Michael Van Gerwen. Turns out it was just a guy with a bald head that worked at a local supermarket. Yeah, the hairstyle and the green.
145.
You wouldn't like what Michael would serve you up.
126.
No, certainly not if I was Benito van der Pas at the moment. 100 here at least gets him onto a finish.
100.
And he will come back to make an attempt. And I know it's 160, John, but if you've got to go for a big checkout, it's a nice one because you don't have to deviate
60.
too much.
Benito require 160.
The path is clear.
It's unlucky because he wasn't far away with the first
and the
one.
third one really unlucky because instead of leaving 60, which is a simple out, 75 if he gets the chance, and Michael looking to take that opportunity away with a double 18.
Games on the 5th leg, Michael Van Gerwen.
It's a 1-1-6 finish for Michael Van Gerwen. And he's been broken once, but he broke straight back, and the #1 seed has a 3-leg cushion at the first break in a match that he'll be an awful lot happier about than his fellow Dutch debutants. says he's taking it one match at a time this year, and he's not started this match off too badly. Michael van Gerwen celebrating there, a 1-1-6 checkout to give him a 3-leg cushion at the first break in this first round tie against fellow Dutchman Benito van der Pas. And that meant an awful lot to the #1 seed. A win for Simon Whitlock tonight that meant a huge amount to him. First win in 6 TV majors in the first round. Peter Wright in imperious form against Kim Huybrechts, 108 average as he won 10-5. Michael van Gerwen 4 legs to 1 up then against Benito van der Pas. And still to come tonight, Adrian Lewis, the number 4 seed against Joe Mernon, the qualifier from Bolton, on a red-hot night here in the Winter Gardens. John Parts alongside me in the commentary box. So far, so good if you're the top seed.
Yeah, everything to plan. He wasn't entirely happy with his game. Not perfect, not 110 average like you'd like to be at. But for an opening match, he must be satisfied. And he's got a lot of match left to work with to get the game up to where he really wants the heights. He wants to impress. He wants to scare people, much like Peter Wright must have done there. Very impressive.
Yeah, he certainly set his stall out there tonight, as Peter Wright.
58.
And of course, if the seedings go according to plan and Wright maintains his form, he might be meeting Michael van Gerwen en route to the final. Long way to go in this championship. And what a brilliant championship it is. First time I've been to Blackpool to see the World Match Play.
136.
Quite a sad day in the world of Formula One. It's the best tonic to see the top players up on the stage at the moment.
140.
So Van der Pas, for once, the cover shot not working first time out, but it's a half chance and a half chance only. He's relying on Van Gerwen to miss here, and it's bullseye. Van Gerwen did miss.
He's attacking his shots very well, though. He's about as close as you can be without hitting it. It's tops.
37.
That's the sort of chance we say when you play a #1, you need to hit. It's 8-8. Second time in the match, he's cleaned that up well.
7 leggers from Mike on a throw first.
1 dart.
Game on.
Well, that's all Benito van der Pas had. 1 dart watches on from the audience. And how much are you thinking on that 1 dart, John, that I can't make a mistake? And how much does that then lead to the fact that eventually you do miss it?
Yeah, it's tough. With focus, you have to try, but sometimes trying takes away the focus.
60.
Van Gerwen comfortably ahead,
100.
even with that ton. 2 players that have met 6 times previously. Van der Pas, one, as we said, the last meeting.
96.
Their first meeting, 2010. In the PDC Under-21 World Championships in the semi-final.
140.
By which time this man had already won a World Masters Championship and was just starting to set his stall out in the PDC world.
Yeah, he had a really great start to his darts career, and it seemed a little unfair that he was even in the other competition. But hey, that's how old he was. That's only fair.
16, wasn't he, when he won the World Masters? Didn't like that though, did he? In theory, it shouldn't cost him, as Benito was a long, long way behind. And is his head just slightly dropped in the last leg and a half there, John?
71.
Well, I'm in a score line. Just nothing seeming to go. It's 8-8 for Michael. Yet another leg.
8 leggers Benito to throw first. Game on.
Michael always shows you how he feels.
39.
You'd like to play poker against him, really. That'd be the ideal, not darts.
You think you might have an advantage there?
177.
Well, maybe not. He probably has a better bankroll.
Yeah, when he goes all in, you might not be able to match that.
Yeah. Table stakes, please.
97.
Well, talk of the 9-darter whenever Van Gerwen's at the board. Not going to happen on this particular visit. But he's not going to get much closer to 3 more trebles, John, without hitting them than he did there.
100.
I wouldn't be surprised if he starts with another, 3 treble beginning to a leg to have that chance. He's at the point in the match where he can start thinking about other things aside from just winning the match. I was going to comment earlier that in darts you have an opponent in a round, but there is also the factor you're competing against everybody in the whole tournament to have the best round, or to be the most spectacular, or to get the most notice.
Yeah, well, they're going to notice this if he follows up with another treble and the bullseye. Oh! And once again, he just misses the bullseye. He'll get there eventually.
Well, he'll be pleased enough if he gets to 25 in 2 darts again.
100.
Hasn't lost in the first round of a TV major in over 20 tournaments, Michael van Gerwen. And now is within 3 legs of extending that run.
Michael to throw first. Game on.
It's all looking very ominous for Benito van der Pas.
93.
Who at least has avoided the whitewash.
Yes, and I think that he probably was expecting a little more of himself than he's got, but it is a very intimidating venue and obviously an opponent. He can only learn from it for the future. You have to realize that Van der Pas will be back.
Yep. First time at the World Match Play. I'm sure he'll be here again.
140.
His second full season with the PDC.
Michael only averaging around 100 here, but I really like how he's playing. I like his attitude.
130.
I like how he's getting on his shot. I like how he's attacking the outshots. And, he's really showing a lot of good signs here, even though his average isn't astronomical.
99.
He's actually showing that he's enjoying it a lot, as he should be at this stage. He went for 2 double 18s there to try and finish off that leg.
Well, he doesn't want to lose focus too much.
95.
He knew that Van der Pas wasn't going to check out, obviously, on 165. The 13 double 16 will sort everything out if he gets it, which of course he does.
Michael van Gerwen. 10 leg is Benito to throw first. Game on.
And what Benito needs here
97.
is something spectacular. What he's producing is something good, but good is not good enough. Not against this.
140.
Do you want to translate that one for me?
I think he's after a 9-dart leg.
Yeah.
97.
Which, as you reminded me earlier, John, is the easiest thing to do in this tournament.
On a Saturday night.
81.
Yeah, Blackpool, yeah.
Exactly. You did it.
Case in point.
Along with Wes Newton, Van Gerwen himself, Barney, Phil Taylor, the men who have hit 9-dart finishes here in Blackpool.
98.
But no finish. So 6 darts for Van Gerwen from 182. He's hoping to only need 4. Well, he's not 22. Or not 2, sorry.
Yeah.
That was my math.
Well, that is showboating, but
That is
51.
something you hope he won't regret. That was silly, really.
yeah, silly, stupid. Why did he do that? What was the point of that? I'll tell you what the point was. It gave him another leg. Doesn't matter if it's double 20 or double 1. Van Gerwen's hitting them all, and he's 1 leg away from the second round. World Match Play darts, tailor-made for Phil Taylor, but is it going to be OMG MVG this year? Or can the Wizard rediscover his magic touch? He's into round 2 with a 10-4 win over Jelle Klassen. Peter Wright, great form against Kim Huybrechts, dispatching the Hurricane 10-5. And Michael van Gerwen rather blowing away Big Ben. Benito van der Pas at the moment, only one leg away from round 2. Before we finish up this evening with a number 4 seed, Adrian Lewis, chasing World Match Play glory against Joe Mernon, himself here for the first time, as is Benito van der Pas. What's John Park does he do from here?
Well, he just has to play some darts and try and win a leg or two. A little redemption in his own mind, so he doesn't leave feeling too poorly about the whole thing. It was a huge task given to him, and I don't think anyone really is going to hold it against his talent level that it didn't quite pan out tonight so far.
Well, that's a rare, we'd say sloppy, poor start from Van Gerwen, and Van der Pas is jumping all over that with a ton 40. So far so good in this leg.
100.
But he can't carry it on. That's a bit of a waste, isn't it? Those 3 darts there.
Well, he just hasn't looked settled at any point in the match, even when he's hit some good scores. Every turn is new. He's laughing at himself now at the inconsistency.
Well, shame it was only a 140 for him. 1080, of course, left him on a finish. But Van Gerwen is rather making this leg easy for him, or easier.
Well, yeah, he can't leave a finish here.
39.
And, against throw for Van der Pas.
59.
He wishes the whole match had been this easy.
I'm sure he does.
Saying that, he hasn't won the leg yet. Michael could put the heat on. I know he likes 180 to leave 2. He can hit 180. No, he can't now, but there you go.
59.
Yeah, he wasn't going to leave double one that time around. That was quite stylish in the end. But Shanghai for the leg for Benito van der Pas for a second break of throw. He has broken Van Gerwen's throw to win the only leg so far.
100.
And that never looked to me like he was going to do it again.
Yeah, the bad news about that is it means he's never held his throw.
Is you looking on the negative there? I'm trying to accentuate the positive 64. For him, John.
He requires 20.
He has not held a throw.
2 breaks. It doesn't matter, he's doubled his tally.
Game on.
Now this is the one, John. This is where he holds his throw now.
You know, as miserable as this has been for him tonight, I think he's still enjoying the atmosphere here a bit. He's soaking it in. He's filing it away a bit. He knows he wants to be back and mount a more serious challenge against whoever he may play. And he's likely to be back. He's a real talent.
Well, I suppose the last leg to get to the magic 10 in the first round is always the hardest. Van Gerwen was averaging
58
before the second break, well over 100, and he's just slipped a little bit. Van der Pas has moved up a couple of points.
No, it's very difficult. You're one leg away from the match and you have a break and you lose your focus because you realize that the truth is you're going to win.
Yeah.
And you just cannot get the focus back. There needs to be necessity sometimes for focus to kick in. Once he gets a little angry at himself for kind of not looking too sharp in front of his adoring fans, you know, he'll probably produce something and put this match away. Maybe a 170 out.
Well, I was going to say, he could do that right now. He's come close before in this match. Missed the ball for a 170. Doesn't get the chance this time around. This Van der Pas has to get this. He's got Van Gerwen waiting on double 18. It's double 18 for Van der Pas. There you go. He has held his throw. And the comeback continues. And Van Gerwen is starting now to pull and to push the odd dart. Just slip a little bit from where he was.
I don't think he's too concerned quite yet. Even with that 180. Even with the 180, and he's enjoying himself, but
Well, mighty
Oh,
line.
180 on the floor.
Yeah,
That was in there.
it was. It just caught the flight on the way in, couldn't grip into the sisal, and that was the end of that 180.
96.
And Van der Pas rather needed 60 on the floor there. As Van Gerwen has these two darts to forge
99.
ahead. Now Van der Pas has a chance. Ton 40 here will be very interesting indeed.
Yeah, even 100 though.
140.
And as you called it, he's on 85. Nothing Van Gerwen can do.
90.
So, to break Van Gerwen's throw for a third time in this match, treble 19 he was going for. It's double 9. He's missed this once. He's missed it twice, this time on the outside.
Ugly required 96.
But still, no momentum involved here for Van Gerwen, and he's just sort of lost the plot.
BT required 18.
Not to say he's lost, but he's lost his way a little.
It's gone AWOL for a bit. Wherever that plot was, and whoever was writing Michael Van Gerwen's script, well, they've stopped scribbling for a bit. And Van der Pas, to me, John, is playing without fear. But now, does he start to get a little bit more concerned because he's getting that much nearer?
Well, that's just it. If he got another 3 legs, then he might start getting a little tense again. And, but believe me, that Michael would be too. If it gets if Benito can win another 3 and make it 9-7, well, then we have something special on our hands.
Well, he needed that treble 19 there, did Van der Pas. He's only 10 ahead. He's now 9 behind. And Van Gerwen didn't really capitalise on what was a very good first dart there. Where's the 180 now for Van der Pas? On his throw, it just gets a little bit more serious for him, and he can't quite rise to the level he needs.
It's awfully sporting of him.
Well, it wasn't 60 on the floor that time.
Well, I think it was, though, because it initially deflected down.
Yeah.
I think it was on path to go in. Just caught the flights.
But he's got 6 darts for the match here, Van Gerwen. And would desperately have loved a little bit more than just that. But to leave 100, that's more than good enough for him. With Van der Pas not able to get down to a 2-dart checkout. So come on then, Michael. You've been toying with your man. You've got 2 darts at double top for the match. And boom, there you go. Michael Van Gerwen, who has talked a lot about how much this title would mean to him, has taken it 1 match at a time and has taken the first round. Words there to Benito Van der Pas. Don't worry, he says you'll be back next year and you'll be a whole lot better for it. Van Gerwen, in his 7th World Match Play Championship, is through to round 2.
Let's quickly bring you up to speed with what's happened tonight.
A real highlight on the darting calendar, this fabulous, iconic venue.
Certainly, it's Whitlock who's coming out and getting the business end of the darts games done.
This could be the night that he puts it right. Well, it could be curtains for Klassen. An old-fashioned thrashing. This time, Simon. An exceptional performance. A really good job done by Simon Whitlock. Klassen swept away.
He's taken over Marvel's mantle as the king of the garish garb against the business-like figure of the Hurricane Kim Huybrechts. Tremendous start here from Snakebite, Peter Wright. What a session. He's got it right. But Huybrechts has upped his game.
Yes, 60, now the 51. Yes! Oh, go on, Peter! Yes! What a way to wrap up a fantastic win.
108 average from Wright. Van Gerwen, 99. A routine performance against Benito van der Pas, his fellow Dutchman. 116, the high checkout. Benito van der Pas had his moments. But Van Gerwen, the big winner, 10-4 the final scoreline. So Willock, a 10-4 winner over Klaassen. Wright, 10-5 over Huybrechts. Van Gerwen, 10-4 over Van der Pas. Still to come, Adrian Lewis against the 31-year-old from Bolton, Joe Mernon. Van Gerwen, though, 10-4 victory. Let's hear from him now, talking to Stuart Pike.
Well then, Michael, job done into the second round.
Yeah, job done. I kicked off good, especially on the beginning of the game, but he did as well, and I took advantage. He missed a couple of doubles, and after that I was on automatic pilot, and I just kept going, and I didn't miss any doubles after that. And then when it's 9-1, you're a bit like, yeah, it's already in the pocket. You shouldn't think like that, but you do it without, not on purpose, and then it takes a couple of legs, but then you know it's game over.
On the opening night, it's all about winning, isn't it? Just getting through, and then you can get into the tournament.
Yeah, Benito, I like him very much. He's a good friend of me. I helped him to get on the tour, and he's a fantastic guy. And I wish him all the best in the future. But now it's on myself. I want to win this tournament. That's all about. I want to see it game by game, and I played okay for the first one, but I got a lot to improve.
Mixed memories of here, and of course people will remember you in tears after losing the final last year. Is that a motivation for you to win it?
Yeah, of course. Last year I lost the final. I didn't play well. I played okay, but I thought by myself I disappointed myself, and that was emotional, and I don't want to be in that position again. So then you need to make sure you prepare yourself 100% and don't make any mistakes and just go for it.
Well done tonight. Good start.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Smiling Michael Van Gerwen, and why not? Decent performance from him. First round, the World Match Play, Saturday night at the darts, and business as usual for mighty Michael Van Gerwen.